Look closely at a dollar bill. You'll see the intricate raised green ink, the woven cotton linen fibers, and the familiar portraits of past presidents. But look down in the bottom corner. That's the signature of the Register of the Treasury. Without this specific validation, that piece of paper is just paper. It is the legal mechanism that authorizes the note for use as money. And for decades, spanning some of the most restrictive periods in American history, those globally circulated notes were validated by Black Americans. It is a sharp irony. A population once legally held as property was now responsible for the very signatures that gave the nation's paper money its value. Blanche K Bruce was born in 1841 in Prince Edward County, Virginia. By law, he was the enslaved property of his own father. He escaped to Kansas during the Civil War, established schools, and rapidly climbed the political ranks during Reconstruction. In 1881, President James A. Garfield appointed him Register of the Treasury. For 4 years, the hands once forbidden by law to hold a pen were required to authorize the money of a rising global superpower. Bruce's appointment meant that for the first time, a Black man's signature was the final word on the legality of the American dollar. At the turn of the 20th century, the Treasury Department functioned as the anchor for an increasingly complex global financial system. Men like Judson W. Lyons and William T. Vernon picked up the pen next. They authorized billions of dollars in circulation while traveling the country to teach financial literacy, treating economic independence as a tool for civil rights. By 1911, the office belonged to James C. Napier, a lawyer and businessman who founded one of the country's first Black-owned financial institutions. 2 years into his term, the administration of Woodrow Wilson began enforcing strict racial segregation inside federal workspaces. Napier refused to comply. He resigned immediately. He walked away from one of the highest government offices, refusing to let his name validate a system that sought to diminish his people. Decades passed before the Treasury saw another milestone of this magnitude, starting with a girl born in 1936. Azie Taylor Morton grew up in Dale, Texas, spending her youth working in the cotton fields of a segregated town. She built a career in commercial education and government service, ultimately joining President Jimmy Carter's administration in 1977 as the Treasurer of the United States. Every dollar bill printed during the late 1970s carried her name. The individual signing off on the nation's wealth was a woman who had once been relegated to picking cotton. Her name on the global currency was a milestone for the Treasury. It was the first time an African-American woman held the power to validate the paper wealth of the nation. While signatures validated the paper ledger, the United States Mint was simultaneously beginning to strike Black history directly into solid metal. In 1946, educator Booker T. Washington became the first Black American to appear on a U.S. silver coin. By 1951, the Mint paired his image with agricultural genius George Washington Carver, recognizing Black contributions to science and farming. 50 years after desegregating baseball, Jackie Robinson was honored in 1997 on both a silver dollar and a $5 gold piece. In 2009, Duke Ellington took his place on the District of Columbia quarter, placing the image of a Black artist on a standard circulating coin. Recently, the Mint added the voice of poet Maya Angelou to the quarter, representing her as a symbol of national resilience. She was joined by Bessie Coleman, the aviator who had traveled to France to earn a license when American schools turned her away. Physical currency acts as a permanent registry of a nation's history. Black contributions are not just a footnote in American economics. They are literally printed on the paper and struck into the metal. Next time you pay for something, check the names and faces in your hand. And if you want to uncover more of the history hiding in plain sight, hit the subscribe button to join us here at The Explainer.